Hello everyone, in this video, we will be creating a simple rock-paper-scissors game using Python and Tkinter. Let's start. I made this Python files named rps.py and I have those images. Let's start by importing everything from the Tkinter module library. Then, we define an app as root and give it a title and size. Finally, we end the script with root.mainLoop to display the app. Next, let's load the images and convert them to photo image objects after importing image and image.tk from the Pillow library. If you haven't installed the Pillow library, you can do so by opening the command prompt and typing pip install pillow. I have already installed it, so it won't show anything. If not, it will download and install it. We open the first image, which is the rock image, using the command and store it in a variable named r. Then we copy it and paste it 2 times. Changing R to P for paper and S for scissor, and renaming the images to 2.png and 3.png, respectively. Now, let's create the GUI starting with a label that will show the score of the game. We'll make its font nice and big, pack it to the screen, and give it a payday to push it down a little bit. Next, we add two labels that will show the images of the player and computer choices. You can choose to start the game with the rock image shown, but it's optional, so you can leave it blank if you prefer. Now let's create the buttons to choose the move. First, create a frame to hold the buttons because we will grid them inside. Create a button named btn_r and make it show the image of the rock. Set the border width, BD, to 0 to remove the edges of the button. Grid the button on row 0 and column 0 and give it some padding in x-axis and y-axis to create some spaces between buttons. When I ran the code, I got an error because I forgot to put the buttons on the frame instead of root. You can't use grid in root because we started with packing. Copy these two lines and paste them 2 more times. Change the name of the buttons and also the image that will show. In the grid function, change the column to 1 in the second button and to 2 in the third one. Now we have 3 clickable buttons to choose our move. Let's create a Python list with the 3 images and name it choices. Define a function named play with 1 parameter, which is the player's choice, and it will be called every time we press a button. Add the command to the buttons using lambda to identify the player's choice in every button using the choices list. The 0 index represents rock, the 1 index represents paper, and the 2 index represents scissor. In the play function, start by adding the choices list as global to avoid image problems with Tkinter. Then, update the player and computer images. For the player, use the player's choice parameter to update the label. For the computer, we need a random choice, so we use the random library. First, we need to import it. Then, we use the random.choice function to get a random choice from the list. Update the computer image with the random image. Great, we have a random image for the computer, and the images are updated correctly. Now, for the main part, the logic of the game. Define counters for how many wins the player and computer have, and make them global in the play function. Check if the player's choice is rock and the computer chooses rock, the zero index in the list. Update the score text using an F string to display and show the score of the player and computer, and set the foreground color to blue. Copy the if statement and paste it again. Update the computer's choice to index 1, which represents paper. Now, if the computer wins, add 1 to the computer's score and update the label with red color. Copy it again and update the computer's choice to index 2, which represents scissors. Now, if the player wins, add 1 to the player's score and update the label with green color. Okay, it works when the player's choice is rock. Let's continue with the other choices. Copy the 3 if statements and paste them again. Update the player's choice in all of them to index 1, which represents paper, and update the winning positions accordingly. For paper and rock, the player wins, so add 1 to their score. For paper and paper, it's a draw, so no one wins. For paper and scissors, the computer wins, so add 1 to their score. Copy the 3 if statements and paste them for the last time. Update the player's choice in all of them to index 2, which represents scissors, and update the winning positions accordingly. For scissors and rock, the computer wins, so add 1 to their score. For scissors and paper, the player wins, so add 1 to their score. For scissors and scissors, it's a draw, so no one wins. I forgot to edit the colors of the label, let's do it. Blue for a draw, green for player wins, and red for computer wins. Okay, let's run it and test it. It works normally, and the score and colors change correctly. The script and the images will be in the descriptions. So, this is the rock paper scissors game using Python and Tkinter. Thank you for watching.